So every time I hear someone mention the singularity, I feel like half the room thinks of evil robots and the other half just shrugs. But Ray Kurzweil's take is a lot more nuanced, right? How does he actually frame this idea?
Oh, it's way more than just robots run amok. Kurzweil sees the singularity as this radical, irreversible transformation, almost like a rupture in human history. It's not a singular event, but an era where technology's growth is so fast and its impact so deep, human life changes in ways we literally can't fully imagine.
That notion of the change being irreversible really stands out. He's not predicting just smarter gadgets, but a kind of merger between us and our technology, right?
Exactly. In his vision, it's the fusion of human and machine intelligence that's the real breakthrough. Kurzweil argues that once non-biological intelligence, basically, digital minds surpass us, we'll integrate with them, not get replaced. It's a very optimistic, almost evolutionary view.
Funny you mention optimism. Some folks paint the singularity as dystopian, but Kurzweil's pretty bullish on it being a positive leap for humanity.
He's definitely more in the glass-half-full camp. For him, this isn't about humanity losing control, but about expanding what it means to be human. The trigger for all of this, though, starts with his pattern recognition theory of mind, which is surprisingly approachable. Maybe we should dig into that next?
I love this thread. So, Kurzweil's pattern recognition theory of mind. What's the gist? How does he boil down this wild complexity of the brain into something programmable?
What surprised me most is how he flips the script on brain complexity. Instead of seeing the brain as this unfathomable tangle, Kurzweil suggests it's powered by a pretty simple pattern recognition algorithm repeated millions of times. Each of these modules recognizes patterns, builds up symbols, and loops them into ever higher concepts.
So it's almost like the brain is a giant forest. But once you see the pattern, say, the shape of a leaf, or how trees cluster, the mystery fades a bit. Does this mean we can just copy-paste the brain into a computer?
Not quite copy-paste, but close in spirit. Kurzweil argues that by understanding the brain's core algorithm, this modular hierarchical pattern recognizer, we can recreate its function digitally. The impressive part is how the neocortex adapts. It's flexible, rewiring based on experience, and even repurposing itself if needed. That's a huge clue for artificial intelligence.
I've seen those studies where blind people use their visual cortex for language, so the brain's like Lego bricks, not fixed circuits. Does Kurzweil see this as proof that a universal learning algorithm is possible?
Absolutely. The neocortex's plasticity shows there's a core process adaptable to new domains, which is crucial for building a digital mind that could, in theory, learn anything. And that brings us to his actual plan for building such a mind.
Let's talk strategy. Kurzweil doesn't want to simulate every neuron atom by atom, right? How does he propose we actually build a digital brain?
Right, he's all about the algorithm, not the gooey details. Instead of brute forcing a brain simulation, he focuses on recreating the neocortex's pattern recognition abilities using things like hierarchical hidden Markov models. These let machines discover patterns and hierarchies in raw data, similar to how we learn language from scratch.
So, these models are like digital apprentices, picking up skills by exposure, not by explicit programming. But Kurzweil adds another layer, doesn't he? Something about self-organization?
Exactly. He brings in evolutionary algorithms as a kind of digital natural selection. Imagine thousands of little digital brains competing and mutating until you get the best at recognizing and predicting patterns. It's this combo of self-organization and learning that gives the system flexibility.
It's wild to think the training ground could be something like Wikipedia, just feeding the digital brain oceans of human knowledge, layer by layer.
Yeah, and the goal is a truly general-purpose intelligence, not just an expert at chess or Jeopardy, but a mind that can tackle anything, just as we do. Once that's in place, it sets the stage for the next phase, the leap from human-level AI to something far beyond.
That actually brings us to the big question. What makes Kurzweil so confident in his timeline from AGI to superintelligence, and then the singularity itself?
The heart of his roadmap is exponential acceleration. He predicts that by 2029, we'll hit AGI machines as versatile and subtle as people. The moment a digital mind passes the Turing test, it can start improving itself, and that's when things get wild.
Self-improving software. That's the intelligence explosion people always talk about, right? Where the AI redesigns itself over and over, faster and faster.
Exactly. And non-biological intelligence has some ridiculous advantages. Electronic brains operate millions of times faster, have perfect memory, and can share knowledge instantly, no need for years of school. Once AGI arrives, these strengths fuel a runaway effect, leading to superintelligence in the 2030s.
And Kurzweil's big claim is that by 2045, this process hits a tipping point, the actual singularity. But he's careful to say the singularity isn't just the birth of superintelligence. It's the era when its effects utterly reshape humanity.
Right. The singularity is the aftermath the moment society, biology, and technology blend so tightly that the old rules no longer apply. It's less a single explosion, more a total phase shift in what it means to be human.
So, if we follow Kurzweil's logic, by mid-century, we won't be dealing with a separate superintelligence, but something more like a human-machine hybrid. How does he see this playing out?
Kurzweil paints a picture where our intelligence is predominantly non-biological, not because we're obsolete, but because we've chosen to merge. Imagine upgrading your mind as easily as installing an app, sharing thoughts at the speed of light, and solving problems collectively.
That's a far cry from the AI takeover nightmares. It's less about machines replacing us, more about us evolving together. But do you think this vision glosses over the risks, or is it genuinely a new beginning?
It's a fair pushback. Kurzweil's view is bold. He sees the singularity not as an endpoint, but as the opening of a new chapter. Of course, the path won't be smooth, and there are real uncertainties. But if his blueprint pans out, it could redefine what it means to be conscious, creative, even alive.
Honestly, the idea that our last great invention might not be a device, but a way to reimagine ourselves, is both exhilarating and a little unsettling. The singularity as a transformation, not an apocalypse.
It's wild, isn't it? We might be on the verge of the biggest leap in human history, not by leaving behind what makes us human, but by radically expanding it. That's the promise and the mystery of Kurzweil's singularity.